Okay, families, thank you for your patience in helping us or working with us while we navigated Zoom land. We are happy to have you here. We're excited to bring you a presentation about Montera Middle School and who we are and what we have to offer. And excited for you to meet our PTO, excited for you to meet some amazing students and other coworkers that are part of the Montera community that helps make our community run. Um, we can go ahead and get started. All right. So tonight we have an agenda for you. And, it's the typical agenda. And I must say that probably like many of you, I wasn't really excited to come and present this evening. It's been a long day supporting staff, supporting students, holding space for families, answering questions for students. And I really had to just sit and be with my breath and just be calm and think about why I do this work and how important it is to be in community with the amazing young people we have in Oakland Unified School District and the amazing community that we have at Montera. So I just want to add that to the space. And also, I want to remind parents, I know that you have young people that they're living in this world that we're in. And regardless of where our political alignments may lie, the most important thing is that we really think about um, reminding our young people how important peace is in the sense of nonviolence towards each other and how important it is to respect the process of people choosing. Choice is powerful. And then how important it is to just be the leaders that we want our young people to be. So, as a principal of Montera Middle School, it's challenging to be here tonight, but I'm still excited to be here tonight because I love the work that I do and I love the people I work with and the community that I work for. So with that, on our agenda, you're going to meet myself and the rest of us, and then we're going to go through a few things, and we'll have some time afterwards if we have any other questions. I am Dr. Williams, third year as principal at Montera Middle School. Been there for I think about 13 years total. I was the assistant principal for actually 8 years even. Founded a program called Black Girls Brilliance. As an assistant principal, got a great opportunity to even create what we called a bridge program, and it's been living there for about the last 9 years. So excited to have like sixth graders come into middle school via bridge. And I just love what I do, love my colleagues, and that's me. She was
I'm
there.
here. Sorry, I'm trying to get my buttons together. Hello, families. My name is Anissa Rashid. I am assistant principal here at Montera Middle School. I've been at Montera for 9 years. I'm a longtime Oakland Unified School District educator, teacher, and administrator. I have two grandchildren who attend Montera Middle School, and both of my adult children are Oakland Unified School District graduates.
Thank you, Mr. Sheed.
How's it going? I'm Sam Cooper, sixth grade dean of students. This is my eighth year at Montera. For 6 years, I was a resource specialist. So I worked with kids who had an IEP. And then this is my second year as a teacher on special assignment, serving as dean of students for the sixth grade. Also do cross country and track. So if your kids are interested in sports, come talk to me. I see you, Audrey. Um, and I also do adventure club. So, trying to get kids outdoors, something I'm passionate about. I know I'm going camping with my whole cross country team next week. So I'll have like 50 something kids going. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Miss Harambe is our community school manager, 10 years in Montera. Miss Harambe also leads our restorative justice initiatives at Montera. And this year she's teaching, co-teaching along with Mr. Buxton, a peer restorative justice class, which is super exciting. And some of the things they're doing on campus around holding circles for their peers and really taking a lot of leadership. All right. So at Montera, one thing that I like to emphasize is joy for your young person, safety and wellness for all of our community members. We all bring so many amazing things onto the campus each day, and we all have our own individual lives that we go home to and that we may be having our own challenges with. I always want to emphasize wellness for everyone that comes onto the campus because if we're not well, we're not going to perform well. So your young person really means a lot to us in that way. And thinking about all academic levels, we want to work really hard to find the brilliance in every young person. And sometimes it's hard for a middle schooler to really see that they're brilliant. You know, they're really measuring themselves across many things that are external, and we really push to have them work with accepting and understanding and knowing and making building a relationship with that internal piece that is sometimes hidden by their own fogged eyes. So we really honor that in a sense of all of our learners that come to us. And then I'm a believer that high school is the last. It's too late to get kids involved in college and career goals. I'm not saying you don't do it in high school, but we want to do it in middle school. We want to get them involved as early as possible. I want my high schoolers that are my rising high schoolers going into high school knowing a lot of the basic things around succeeding in high school, but also thinking about careers. Not saying that they'll know exactly what they want to do when they leave the eighth grade, but still keeping in mind some curiosities because they've been exposed to many different professions and had opportunities to engage in many different professions. So overall, this is who we are as a school. And so middle school is such a very important transition. It is the shortest time of school for you as a sixth grader and for you, your middle school family. You go the longest time in elementary school, shortest time in middle school, and then you have the sprint to college and career at high school. So the question is, well, why Montera Middle School? So, looking at our schools, I like to always share these graphs so you know this is who we are in Oakland Unified School District. Up here in District 4, amongst all those fun trees and wild turkeys that sometimes chase your cars, Montera is just a great place to come and find a lot of peace during the day for our students and staff alike. And so, this is just showing you who we are as a district and how we're mapped out. And I could not find the new TK to 12. So this is still relative though. We have about 25% of our population, 24% that are within the district boundaried area. If we were to think about the old school way that we used to send our kids to school, like certain schools were boundaried and this is the school you went to. And then we have 74% roughly of kids from all over Oakland and some even outside of Oakland. So I truly say that Montera is this representation of Oakland at its finest. We get our young folks from all over, and it makes it a really fun campus because of it. And so a little bit about me. I took over this job in 22, 23, and I was like, we're going to grow this school. We're growing to 800. That's my goal. And this year we were projected to have 655 students. However, we're currently at 701 students. Wasn't expecting that one, but here we are, and we are growing. And if you look at the subgroup circles, you'll see what the subgroup data is telling us as far as the number the represented subgroups within our population. Sometimes the data can be a little skewed, depending on how, families kind of mark their representation when they're signing up. But this is the accuracy as to what we have and what we have to share with our families. And so I like to say I have these thematic yearly kind of, it could be a one word or kind of a phrase. And that was me, year one. I was like, trust the process, getting back into the principalship, just trust the process. Projected 546, actual 615. I was like, okay, great. Year two, I was like, let's manifest. Let's go ahead and manifest these things that we're seeing. Projected 615, actual 646. Year three, I was like, all right, we need to multiply some of the things we're doing. Projected 646 this year. And actual, well, that was actual. That's my typo. Actual 701. And what that meant was, you can go to the next slide. We're growing. And this is what I told parents that I wanted to see. I didn't know we were going to grow that darn fast, but we're growing. And so we were projected at 646, actual 701. Growth means a lot of things for any school, especially in middle and high school. Growth is going to mean more course offerings. Growth is going to mean more funding for your school. Growth is going to mean more teachers. And growth means more diversity in many ways. And so overall growth goal at Montera, I want to see 800 kids there. But the growth pace that we're on is really insane because I thought maybe we'll grow 2 to 3, 30 students a year. We've outpaced this and we've grown by 155 students, plus or minus 30% since the 2022-23 school year. And yeah, we are definitely on our path to reaching that 800 goal. So what does it look like for you as families coming in? It looks like working through visual and performing arts pathway. Mr. Bell is an artist of note. And so we were working really hard with him, having sixth, seventh, and eighth grade students going from beginning, intermediate, and advanced so that they see their art pathway happen. And when they enter high school, I know at Skyline specifically, we've worked with them. They've gone into art two and skipped art one because our eighth grade art class is equivalent to an Art 1 college prep course. It doesn't read college prep or get the credits for college prep on their transcript, but they're getting that level of training. It also means language pathway. All of our students take Spanish. And we're this next year, we're going to work on Spanish level testing and really think about our dual immersion families because I hear them loud and clear about wanting to go into a larger middle school, but also wanting their students to continue with their language. Specifically, our language at Montera is Spanish, and having our sixth graders enter into higher level Spanish classes. So we can look at having our eighth graders take up to Spanish 2. So by the time they get to ninth grade, they're potentially going into a Spanish 3 class. So that will in high school free them up as they have potential to take additional AP courses in their classes, advanced placement courses, and or free up their schedule to take whatever else they're taking during the high school time. And then the other one is performing arts, California Technical Education Alignment with Skyline High School. Miss Abuela Makeba has joined us this year. And so an intro to drama is what we're doing now. We're working on a grant to bring hip hop theater so we can have that articulation with Skyline and then really bring through the folks who are into the performing arts to have Montera be a core middle school that's building that pathway right into Skyline High School as well. Growth also looks like our counseling department. We added a second counselor this year, Mr. Ramos. So we have Ms. Sapon and Mr. Ramos. We have 4 counseling interns that they help support. Administration, it's me, the principal, sixth grade dean, Mr. Cooper. We have a vacancy in our seventh grade AP, and we want to make sure we bring in the right person for that spot. So the rest of us are working super hard while we're being very careful about who we bring in. And we have our eighth grade AP, who you heard from as well, Ms. Rashid. It also means our restorative justice peer leaders. So we have that peer RJ leadership class, and they're really doing some amazing things around circle keeping and classes and getting involved with showing that leadership in front of their peers to build, stronger community. It also means a full-time bilingual receptionist. As we've seen our population of Spanish speakers rise, we had to make sure that our families are being met when they come into the front office and being met in a language that they are able to communicate in. So 16 home languages is what we're rocking at Montera, and there may be more, but hey, we know 16 for sure. Just wanted to show you these are the home languages that we have. And then just a day at Montera. These are some of the cool things that we have going on. To the left, you see we had Lawrence Livermore Science come and set up in our library. We had a family science night, and you just see some other classroom things in action. And a day at Montera also looks like our bell schedule. We have an A-B bell schedule. A days, Mondays and Thursdays. B days, Tuesdays, Fridays, Wednesdays, flip-flop. And so our kids do go in a what we call a block schedule. And for sixth graders, they get used to it. In the beginning, it's a little confusing for them, but they catch on really quick. Although, also specifics, our sixth graders right now, they have a separate lunch. They have an alleyway where most of their classes are, primarily their core classes, and they have PE every other day because of that block schedule. They get to choose two electives. They actually have three total, but they get choice of two. And then their bridge program, that intro to middle school program, it's one of the most popular programs that we have of students transitioning into middle school because they get to be the first students to kind of dirty up the hallways because they're there about a week before the rest of the students, and they get to really see the campus and get a feel for, lessening that anxiety of coming into middle school. And sixth grade friendship circles, buddy clubs, they're created on an as needed basis. We like to have an opportunity for our sixth graders just to really exhale when they get into middle school because it's a big change. Lunch clubs, as you can see there, sometimes if there isn't a club that's represented that a sixth grader would like, then what we encourage them to do, find a teacher who'll be your sponsor, go ahead and find some friends who want to sign up. We'll host the space for them and allow them to have their club. We've seen that happen as well. Ha, my slide duplicated. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're growing. Summer Bridge, and just really quick, it's an opportunity to meet teachers, meet new friends, just lessen that anxiety, building positive culture. And sixth graders and families really love the Summer Bridge. And we typically advertise for it after you get your acceptance letter, and then you accept around April, and it fills up. One other thing we have is Cool Ground with Oakland Goes Outdoors. We have about $26,000 this year that we're spending. We've taken kids a slide ranch. I haven't went. I didn't spend the night, but I brought cupcakes and burnt a few marshmallows. They go on selling trips. Rob Hill Campground, cross country team. They'll be camping next week. Miss Queter has like a girl empowerment group where she does climbing at Pack Pipe, where she takes girls out to climb. And it's just a partnership that we've developed, and this outdoor grant provides an opportunity to get our kids outdoors without having price be a mitigating factor. And lastly, centering students' voices, like I said, the restorative justice peer leaders. We have our SYL leadership class. We participated the last few years in something called Breaking Down the Walls, similar to Challenge Day or Crossing the Line. There's different ways that they phrase this. We host Wellness Wednesdays. We do Surprise Fridays. Miss Harambe will choose a Friday where she's going to play music and give out a treat and just celebrate something that's community-wide that she wants to uplift in the community. The empathy interviews that are happening with students on behalf of our counselors, and focus groups with students to get their input on school policies. It's always fun to hear their voice. We hear it in many different ways, sometimes in teacher classrooms, sometimes I'll work with students, and we just always want to hear back from students as much as we can. And I'll pass it on to counselor.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Erica Sapon. I'm school counselor here at Montera. I support students with last names A through Lewis, and I've been at Montera since 2012, minus 2 years when I was a school counselor in Hong Kong. I'm also an alum of Montera, in addition to an alum of Joaquin Miller and Skyline, and I'm also the Asian Pacific Islander Club advisor. And my co-partner, co-counselor is Mr. Ramos, and he supports students with last names LI through Z, and it's his first year here at Montera. And so as school counselors, our number one priority is about student wellness and student well-being. And so that's what we're here to support with students as well as the entire school community. And so these are just some pictures from some of our wellness days. And so with Wellness Day, we basically kind of create a whole new schedule, and students get to partake in different wellness activities that are hosted by our teachers and also sometimes community members. And as Dr. Williams mentioned earlier, we also have Breaking Down the Walls, which is what we're offering for incoming sixth graders when they're here so that they can get to know each other a little bit better. And so we're here to support all students, and amongst all the things that we do, one of our goals is really to try to meet with students one-to-one at least once a year. And so one way that we do that is what we're calling minute meetings. And so this year so far, we have actually met with the majority of eighth graders already. And so we still need to work on connecting with our sixth and seventh graders for these minute meetings. We're also here for drop-in support. And so when a student needs extra support, we are here to provide that for them. And we're working and collaborating with teachers. So we're providing advisory lessons that help prepare them in the 3 domains of academic, social, emotional, and college career. So Doc, I think this is you.
Yeah, sure. We have a few pictures. You can just see the faces of the folks that your kids are going to see. So sixth grade teachers, this is our sixth grade team. And as you can see, Mr. Pettingill, if you think he's a funny guy, he sure is. And this is our sixth grade crew that we have here. Spanish, here's just an example of some of the Spanish courses that we have available. And so we have some of our Spanish teachers in action there with our team of Miss Guerrero Arcos, Miss Mayorga, Mr. Price. Visual and Performing Arts. If you're a Sequoia family, that face right below Mr. Bob may be super duper familiar. Mr. Bob Frazier is now on staff at Montera Middle School, and it was beautiful to see some eighth graders run up and give him a big hug. And I was like, wait a minute, this guy's really known. But Mr. Bob's awesome. He's come in, joined the staff, and he's just fun to have around. And I'm sure you know that if you know Mr. Bob. Visual and Performing Arts, these are some of the showcases that we have. We have a spring and fall showcase. We have a full wood shop, one of the last almost in the country in middle school. And this is Mr. Runge, and they're making skateboards. And then we have our social justice art class and many different, just ways to explore what kids are doing at Montera. And during those showcases, they'll have an art walk, and they'll have the wood shop open. We'll have music happening. Just opportunities for you to see what your child is doing. And design department, some of the classes that we have there. And these are our design teachers. And our special education team. We have a very robust special education department. And real briefly, I'll speak about our Envisioners After School program. We're partnered with Envisioners After School. They operate from the ending of school, which is 3:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 1:50 on Wednesdays until 6 p.m. They have homework support. They have apprenticeships that they do. They're partnered with our sports program, and they provide programming during those hours. And we have a link that you'll be able to go to and learn more about the after school program. And if you have interest or a need to have your child be a part of after school that's exclusive of sports. And the sports program, any child that's remaining after school is naturally a part of the after school program. And the sports program works with the after school for sign-in purposes and things like that. And our after school program is open to all kids. And some kids may qualify for free after school. Some may qualify for reduced costs or full paid. So it really depends on the application, but you will be able to work with our after school provider to learn more about that. I'm going to pass it over to our athletic director, Mr. Price.
All right, give me 2 seconds. Sorry, Doc. I was okay. Yeah, sorry. Hold on for a second. Doc, I was taking my daughter to the bathroom. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be there. I'm sorry.
He has a little one. So Mr. Price is our athletic director, and he is a long-term Montera teacher, and he has
Sorry,
Spanish
Doc.
that he teaches. Yeah, are you ready to jump on?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Doc.
No
Okay.
worries, no worries, Mr.
Yeah,
Price.
hello,
I
everyone.
love little ones.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Price. I'm the Spanish teacher as well as the girls soccer coach. I was the boys soccer coach. This is my first year as the Montera athletic director, and I'm working, hard with Dr. Williams to make sure that our sports program represents the best of what Montera should be. I think we're doing a great job. Our goal is to get almost a lot of kids involved, especially girls. Right now in the fall sports program, we have over 200 kids, at least 195 or something like that. Um, and so we offer in the fall we offer the volleyball, the flag football, the cross country, and this has been our first year offering girls futsal and girls flag football. Our cross country program is like really dope. It's huge. A lot of kids from representing different backgrounds. They're really fun events. Um, our girls futsal is fun. The flag football, we used to have a co-ed team, so watching these, these girls, play and or become part of a team has been beautiful. And me and Doc have enjoyed the games. Um, and so we're just trying to provide a space for everyone. Middle school sports, they're free. And the goal, your brother wants you. The goal is to make sure that we provide a space for everyone. And so we're going to keep on growing the program. In the winter, the more traditional basketball takes place, and the girls soccer, boys soccer. And then the spring, the boys baseball, softball, wrestling. And so we're looking at other sports. We're always looking for volunteers. Um, but we're really, really trying to make sure that our student athletes understand that they're leaders on campus and that there's high expectations and standards that they have to adhere to. It's been fun. It's been fun as an athletic director. Working, I'm representing the vision that Doc and the parents and all the stakeholders have put in place at Montera, as well as representing the OAL. I'm the middle person, between the coaches, the OAL, the Oakland Athletic League, the principal, and the players. So it's a enjoyable job. There's a lot that goes into it, but it's been fun, and the kids are beautiful, and the coaches are beautiful, and it's Edna Brewer, um, Claremont. Those are the traditional big schools. And so there's a huge rivalry that exists. And so, everything that's good about, team sports or individual sports, the kids are able to do at Montera. And yeah, Doc played college sports. Doc, when I say Doc, Dr. Williams. I played at a high level in high school and club competitive soccer. And yeah, so
Thank you,
you
Mr.
know,
Price.
yeah, thank
Yeah,
you, Doc.
he's telling my secret over there. I did play competitive sports. And one thing I like to say is, you know, there's a lot of students that try out. What we're doing this year differently is trying to work really hard at developing kind of a clinic opportunity so that kids that don't make the official team still have skill building opportunities because we want children to have access. If there's anything that we want middle school children to do is stay busy, especially during those after school hours. And so, robust programming. We look forward to providing that for your student. And now, without any further ado, these folks really make the school cook, and these folks are our folks. It's our Montera PTO. And let's go ahead and have them share out and how you may continue to be involved.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Williams. So I am Tiffany Grissett. I am your PTO vice president. Usually I'm joined here by Melissa, who is your PTO president. I have a sixth grade student here. I also have a third grade student at Redwood Heights. I also have a 23-year-old who is outside of college now. Um, this is my first year, and one of the first things that I've really enjoyed about being on the PTO so far is meeting all of the amazing parent volunteers that have been um, helping out with all of the events, and also just getting to know the staff and Dr. Williams, who is really awesome, by the way. So we have a lot of really awesome programs here at Montera. So next slide. As a parent guardian of Montero student, there are so many ways to get engaged and help the school. From the PTO board, like me, to the school site council, our campus gardens and beautification, volunteer coaches, music boosters, event planning, fundraising, and more. You might be thinking that when elementary school is over, you are no longer needed to be involved with your school, but that is not true at all. Your student will be learning to be more independent for sure, but our job is not done. It is because of our active parent and caregiver volunteer community that makes our programming and events so great here at Montera. So let's look at a few things that our PTO does. So our PTO volunteers work closely with teachers and staff to put on student events, help chaperone student dances, cultural events like Lunar New Year, end of year field day, help with sixth grade bridge like Dr. Williams was talking about, and several fun eighth grade spring activities. This year, we're getting more field trips going again. Teachers and admin, they want them back, and they need a lot of parent support. You can help with our fun community events and fundraisers, including our fall festival, which we just had and is one of our most beloved community events. We had an amazing haunted house, teacher dunk tank, lots of great food, and many booths put on by our students. We also have a big spring benefit fundraiser, Ride for a Reason bike ride, a new 5K in Joaquin Miller Park, and more. So we at Montera were also lucky to have a great music arts program and an emerging theater program with wonderful teachers. So families are needed to help volunteer at concerts, fundraise for trips and supplies, and help with other events as well. Montera has one of the biggest campuses in OUSD with so much green space and access to nature. Parents help create garden spaces and help with campus improvements and beautification. Here are some pictures of parents helping out on one of our garden days. So you may be wondering, how do we do it? Our annual budget is about $215,000. Much of that goes right back into the classroom in the form of teacher stipends and department grants, and for events and programs for our students. We fundraise through an annual fund, corporate matching, and sponsorships, and a fun spring auction and benefit event. You can see we have a very, very active and vibrant community here at Montera. So if you haven't yet, check out our website. It's full of really awesome and great information. We have an active Instagram page as well, where you can get a feel for student life on campus. Also, if you'd like to see more photos like you saw today on the slide deck, check out our photo gallery on the website as well. Back to you, Dr. Williams.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So right now we wanted to hear from a few students. I never script our students because why? Seriously, it's like, you want to go to a school that feels like home for you, and middle school is a great opportunity to choose. And so I just always ask kids a few questions, and if we have some questions that come through the Q&A, we try and get them to the kids. And this is an opportunity while you're on Zoom to hear from some kids. And if you come to our in person, you'll also be able to hear from kids in person. And so my first question, and if we can do the hand thing, that's fine. If I'm not so versed in Zoom. If you don't do the hand thing, I'll just choose one of the students. Um, what what is it that, okay, what was it like for you in the sixth grade at Montera? Like, what advice would you give an incoming sixth grader? I see Zoe.
Hi. Something for me in sixth grade, some advice I would give is to not stress too much because I was super stressed about like the transition from elementary to middle school, but it really wasn't that bad, especially in Montera, where I think it would probably be different at other schools, but Bridge really helped. It's like a lot less scary than you think. And if I had stressed a little less, then I might have had a little bit more fun just starting out. And I think just don't get super nervous because it's really like super fun and easy to like everybody there really helped and to transition us, which was really helpful.
Thanks, Zoe. Anyone else want to give an insight on their sixth grade experience? Otherwise, I'll jump into my next question. Oh, I see it coming on. All right, go ahead.
Me personally, I thought, like Zoe said, I thought it would be really scary, but with the teacher's help, I made a lot of friends, including the person I'm here with right now. And it's really not that scary once you actually like experience it. And I think it was easier at Montera.
Thanks, Roxy. I had a hot button question about homework, and I want to make sure I word it correctly. And it said, how much homework will you get? Did you get? Do you get? Audrey, like, oh my gosh, it's like playing, what is that? When you hit it real fast, Price is Right or something. I don't know. Audrey, go ahead.
For homework, I think it really depends on the teacher, because like some teachers assign like a lot of homework, and some teachers only assign you homework if you don't finish your work in class, which you should probably finish your work in class. And I know I've had a lot of homework for certain classes, but the homework's not that hard if you pay attention in class.
Thank you, Audrey. Anyone else on that homework question? No. Oh, I see. There's a raised hand. Wait, is that from a student? Is that a parent?
That is a parent. I was actually looking to see, well, I know Jill. Hi, Jill. Um, if I can let you speak out loud, allow to talk. Jill?
You're on mute, Jill.
Sorry, I didn't mean to press that. I actually got disconnected and just joined back. So ignore my hand. Sorry about that.
All right.
Okay, hi, Jill.
Okay. How do you deal with conflict that you may have with a student, like drama or whatever? Like, how do you deal with that in middle school? Like, what are your resources, etc.? I see all those. Ooh, we're gonna go Audrey first, and we're gonna come to you, Zoe.
Um, at Montera, we're lucky enough to have like restorative justice program. And like, so if we have conflicts with each other, we can like go to the restorative justice program. And also, like, if you're having conflict or troubles, there's like a lot of good teachers that you can like come talk to, like Mr. Price, that you can like talk to and resolve it quickly, because that's usually what happens at Montera.
So for me,
Thanks,
usually,
Audrey. I think it was. Go ahead, Zoe, and then we're gonna jump to the Roxy and Amara side.
yeah. Usually what I can tell is drama can be really hard, especially at this age, is when I first started getting it. But as Audrey said, it's really important to have support from the adults here, and we have a lot of that, which is really good because there can be fights, which usually people are scared about, but we handle them really well, and if you stay away from them, then it's pretty easy to just avoid them, and they're usually over really quick, and people will be like, "Oh, there's so many fights," but really there's not that many, and we handle them really well, which makes me feel really safe, which I'm so happy about.
Thanks, Zoe. Am I going to Roxy again or Amara? Amara, let's go, Amara.
Um, I feel like if you have like it's easy to make friends in a lot of the classes. I'm sorry, that was my sister.
Your
But
tutorial in the background.
making friends in some of the classes will be helpful because that way even if something does happen with people, then you always have somebody to like be with, and also like they were saying, the teachers.
And the culture keepers are a good people to talk to if there's anything. If there's drama, you should.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. So our
The
culture
culture
keepers, go ahead.
are good people to talk to if there's ever something that you're afraid of, if there's ever drama that you need to talk to, you should probably go to the culture keepers.
What do you think Montera has prepared you for best in thinking about high school? We'll go Audrey and then Zoe.
I think Montera has prepared me a lot with I think it's since Montera is so much like different than elementary school, it helped us adjust to like switching classes and like navigating like big halls and stuff. And it also helped us learn that like to stay organized because I remember when I was at elementary school, I was so unorganized, and I had to get my act together for middle school, and that Montera really helped me with that.
Thanks, Zoe. I'm sorry, Audrey.
Zoe.
I know I'm sorry, Audrey. Zoe, go ahead.
Um, Something that happened to me was I got Mr. Pettingill last year, and I'm not super sure about Mr. Torrance, but something Mr. Pettingill did is he really prepared us. Like at first it was hard, I was confused, but as we got into the year, we developed these really important habits that I still use this year about organization and getting your work in on time. And I think the teachers here just like they really prepare you. And I didn't expect the teachers to really care this much, but they did, and I'm so glad that teachers care about us.
Dr. Williams, we have a few questions in the Q&A. I'm not sure if you
Oh,
see that
I
or
see them now. Okay, wait. No, I don't. Oh, I went the wrong way. Okay. Maybe you can pop a few, Aaron. I don't think I'm looking
yeah.
at
The first one here is, do we have a student council? If any student would like to talk about that. Oh, Audrey raised your hand first.
Um, no, we don't, but Zoe, Amara, and Roxy and I are all part of SYL, or Strong Young Leaders, and we basically do the same things that a regular student council would do. Like we plan all the events. Like if you ever see like kids with these bright like yellow things around their necks, that's us. And so we help out around the school and we plan a bunch of events. And that's basically our student council.
Thank you for that. Aaron, do you see another question?
Yeah, another question was if any of the students here play sports, and if so, how does that work? How busy is it if you're playing a sport?
Go ahead, Zoe.
For me, I only play one sport, which is track in the spring. But I know a lot of girls who play soccer, which is a very popular sport at Montera, and they're always really good students. And I don't think they're too busy. It always seems like they're happy and in a good mood and have their grades really well. And they're just like some of the smartest people I've known. And for me personally, track didn't take up a lot of time, but I know other sports may take up a lot of time. But we didn't have that much homework last year. Like from most of the teachers, they didn't really assign homework. So I didn't really feel busy or overworked last year. I felt like it was the perfect balance.
Thanks, Zoe. I got Roxy coming on board or Amara.
I played softball in the spring, and I feel like if you do that, like, because I played that and I also played for a separate league that's not the school. And balancing those and schoolwork was a little bit hard, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Like sometimes I had to miss practices, but I tried to go to most of the games. And my eighth period, which is when we usually had games, was PE. So I didn't really like have to miss a lot of class and have a lot of work to catch up on. And it doesn't take up that much of your time. That's like how I feel.
Thank you. So, oh, Audrey, go ahead.
So for my sport, I did cheerleading, and I think it's different for every sport because their practices like weren't that long, and like mine lasted until 5:45 p.m. and it was pretty easy to stay on top of my grades though. I think Montera sports really care about their students.
Awesome. And we have so many sports parents. It's just amazing what we have there. And is there anything else, students, that you want to kind of share out to families? Because I'm going to answer a few questions and close us out on our webinar this evening. Is there one last thing you want to share with families? They're going to be looking at other schools, and middle school is a very important time for their lives and their new rising middle schoolers' life. Anything else you want to share out with families? Got it. Okay. Thank you all for being here with us this evening. And families, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get those Q&A questions open. Um, and actually, I would like to have someone, if you were a bridge student, if you want to share out, kind of explain the bridge program, what it was like. Can you do that? We got, who's coming on first? Zoe, go ahead.
Bridge was really fun. It really helped like bridge the gap into middle school. And how it worked was we would go into the like MUR area. I'm not sure if it's different this year, but how we would get into groups, some students would speak, and we would rotate through classes sort of like we would in a normal day, and we would have our group all day. And I actually did make some friends there, which was really nice. And we got to pick lockers too, which I was really happy about because we got to pick it before other people and it was pretty easy.
Audrey, you want to share out?
Basically just what Zoe said, but I think uh Bridge really helped Zoe and I because we were really nervous about transitioning to middle school. And I feel like Bridge had us like get to know the teachers a little more, and we made a lot of friends. So like on the first day of school, it'll be like, "Hey, I know you from Bridge," and then um, it helped me like less anxious about the transition. So if you're considering Bridge, I think you should really go to Bridge.
Got it. I appreciate that. All right. Hopefully, Jill, that answers the bridge questions, and it really is to bring students together to lessen some of the anxiety for parents and students, and for them to see the campus. We're roughly 22 acres, for them to understand the layout of the campus, classes they may have. They'll even have bridge classes with teachers that may be eighth grade teachers, so teachers that they wouldn't have necessarily in the first 2 years, but teachers that are part of the bridge program. And so they get to build relationships across grade levels with teachers early on. So it's a 2 day experience, 2 half days, no cost to students. Only thing we ask parents to provide is a lunch, and we let kids come and just be a part of transitioning into middle school. Yeah, a few questions I'm going to ask here. So can you tell me, how about students here? What elementary school did you all come from? Go ahead, Roxy and Amara.
I went to Sequoia.
And I went to Cleveland.
Zoe
I went to Joaquin Miller.
and Audrey.
I also went to Joaquin Miller.
Got it. So we pulled students from last I checked was roughly about 19 schools. They're coming from all over Oakland. We have our larger schools. I think right now Redwood Heights is the largest student number that we pulled, and it was like Joaquin Miller, um, Montclair, Thornhill. Those are kind of the four beds that are our largest group of students. And then we have Sequoia, and then we have uh kids from, gosh, really literally all over Oakland. So the numbers lessen as far as the number of students we bring from those schools, but we have the representation just throughout Oakland. And so you'll meet students when you come for a tour that are from just a number of schools throughout the Oakland Unified School District. And what we had this year, interestingly, part of our growth was we had students coming in from outside of the district, and we had them coming in seventh and eighth grade primarily as far as students that weren't necessarily OUSD school students prior. Few questions. How does Montera compare academically to other OUSD middle schools? That question is nuanced because we're looking at subgroups of where Montera is comparing. When we were prior to COVID, we had a population that was approximately 30% free and reduced, and we had students who had about 30% of our students who had, more needs within our community. Now we're about 56%. So we're seeing our community change as far as student needs and as far as student performance. So one of the things we're doing with that is utilizing our iReady scores to see where some of our subgroups may be performing and providing additional support during our advisory times for students to access. I won't call it remedial, but it definitely is targeting where you are in ELA and math. And we're proposing an iReady night that we're going to have one of our site-based coaches lead, because I want parents to understand that your student could use this iReady MyPath even at home. We're doing it in our advisory class, and students are seeing what they have stretch growth. They're seeing their growth happen before them online within their tech use that they have. Buddy system. Buddy system, was that in our presentation? I didn't see anything buddy system. The one I can refer to is really teacher based, and what that is, we have teachers that kind of partner with each other. If a student is having a challenge in class, having a hard day, and needs kind of a reset, a student may take a timeout inside a teacher's class and use that they call a buddy form to speak to their reset and then bring it back to their teacher once they've spent their time inside of their buddy teacher's room. Would they need to do it at home? I guess it's maybe iReady you're speaking of. They can do iReady at school. They can do it at home. They could do it in the grocery store. It's a program that they have access to, and it's not a graded program. It really is about growth in those two core areas. And it provides just feedback for students. And we do three assessment points for iReady in the beginning of the school year. We'll do it again in January. We'll do it again in the spring. Let's see. So I appreciate you all being here tonight. I know that, an hour is just a glimpse of Montera. Middle school is a very important time for you and your family. I always tell families, go out and see the schools, check in with folks, get to know folks. There's no perfect community you're going to find, but we're only going to be as strong as the community we build with you and our students. And we want to continue building that. And I tell you, with 701 students, I'm getting less and less sleep each night. But I look forward to this goal. I said 800 and I meant it. I want a healthy Oakland school, and I want a free public education with many accessible resources that will allow your child to be successful in high school. And instead of, spending eons and eons of dollars in private schools, etc., I would like it to pour right into our public education and make sure that you and your child get what you deserve and need. With that, I'm going to close this out. I thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you at Montera in person. All right, everyone. Thanks a bunch.